I felt like, they had like, a whole lot of potential. Jay was more quiet. But I mean, I learned that Jay was being quiet because he was taking notes. He was taking notes, observing everything, taking it all in. Because, sometimes you're around and you're watching to see things to do.
She's 28, she's from Maryland, and she says she's lived in the shadows her whole life. Until now. Her name? Letitia Murr. But on Instagram, she goes by something far more explosive. Jay's first daughter. That's right, she's not claiming to be a fan, not a relative. She says she's the biological daughter of Sean Carter, Jay-Z himself. And she claims she's got the DNA to prove it. A claim like that doesn't just make noise. It could shake Jay-Z's entire empire to the ground.
Jay-Z, I heard that no one really wanted to sign him when you were shopping him around the record labels. Is that true?
Yeah. This was, I want to say, I don't know, 90, 91 maybe. We was, we recorded some songs, probably about 4 or 5 songs on Jay-Z, and shopped them to several different record labels, and they all passed.
It began with one emotional post. I've been quiet for far too long. Letitia Mason, or as the internet now knows her, Jay's first daughter, says she grew up in a city where everyone knew the truth, that Jay-Z was her father. But while the world praised his empire, she says she lived in silence. No support, no acknowledgement. Just a mother slowly fading from multiple sclerosis, and Letitia juggling school, 2 jobs, and raising a child of her own. All while carrying a secret the neighborhood whispered for years, that she's the forgotten heir to hip-hop's royal bloodline.
I can only say as a father that I hope I instill with him the values that they would want to look for in a man. And I think I did when Beyoncé wrote on her, I think it was her first album, maybe it was the second one, the song Daddy, that she hoped that she found someone just like her daddy.
According to her family, this isn't some new fantasy. They say this story started way before Beyoncé ever came into the picture. In fact, Letitia's own aunt stepped forward, claiming she was the one who introduced Jay-Z to Letitia, way back in the early 90s. This was before the fame, before Rockefeller Records, before the millions. She insists it wasn't some one-night thing. It was a real relationship. And she didn't stop at words. She came with receipts, names, dates, even places. They say that when Letitia found out she was pregnant, the family tried to reach out to Jay-Z's team at Rockefeller, but they were shut down. No response, no way in. And then it gets even darker. A rapper named Oshino, who used to work with Jay-Z, claims Jay-Z knew all about Letitia. He says there's a house in Cambridge, Maryland, fully paid for by Jay-Z, where Letitia now lives. But the deal came with rules. No pictures of Jay-Z, no posts, no proof. Just silence.
Jay-Z got his ass whooped by his sister-in-law on camera. What's her name? Solange. You got his ass. The feds ain't step in and do nothing. The feds don't care about you getting your ass whooped.
So, what changed? Why is Letitia speaking up now? One theory that's catching fire is simple. She's tired. Tired of being hidden. Tired of staying quiet. Tired of watching the Carter kids live out loud while she's pushed into the shadows. And if this story feels familiar, that's because it is. It's digging up an old scar Jay-Z's tried to keep buried. The case of Ramir Satterthwaite. Remember Ramir? He's the man who's been fighting Jay-Z in court for over 10 years, saying he's his son from a short affair in the 90s with a woman named Wanda. She passed away in 2019. But before she did, she signed a legal paper naming Jay-Z as Ramir's father. Ramir says all he wants is the truth. But Jay-Z, he's allegedly done everything to dodge a paternity test, switching courts, blocking orders, and using legal tricks to keep this quiet.
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his nefarious past.
Now, with Ramir stepping back into the spotlight, this no longer feels like a one-time rumor. It's starting to look like a pattern, one Jay-Z has never spoken about in public. Two different people, two different lives, two different states, but one shocking claim, that Jay-Z is their father, and the world only knows a polished, cleaned-up version of who he really is. This isn't just drama, it's legacy, it's image, and it's shaking the foundation of everything the Carters have built. Now, there's one question echoing louder than ever. What does Beyoncé think about all of this?
And we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed.
Whispers from the inside say Queen Bey has had enough. Sources in the industry claim Beyoncé has finally hit her breaking point. Rumors of loud arguments behind closed doors, emergency meetings at Rock Nation, and PR teams working overtime to keep things quiet. The idea of Beyoncé giving Jay-Z an ultimatum? It's not far-fetched anymore. Insiders say she wants him to act, take a DNA test, and end this humiliation once and for all. But here's the problem. If he takes the test and it confirms what Letitia and Ramir both claim, the damage could be massive. Not just to his marriage, not just to his name, but to the billion-dollar Carter brand built on perfection. And if he refuses, that silence might speak louder than any press release ever could. From the outside, this may look like just another scandal. But for those inside, it's a reckoning. If Letitia really has the DNA proof, then Jay-Z isn't just facing a paternity issue. He's facing a legacy crisis.
Would be something I really would want to find out because, in the future.
This isn't just some tabloid headline anymore. This is a woman who stayed quiet for nearly 30 years, backed by her family, now stepping forward without hesitation, claiming she's Jay-Z's first daughter. She's done hiding, done following the unspoken rules. And if her recent posts say anything, it's that she's just getting started. But this story isn't just about Letitia anymore. It's about a storm growing around Jay-Z. One that's pulling in every hidden truth from the years before Beyoncé and threatening to leave nothing standing. From secret homes in quiet towns like Cambridge, Maryland, to court files buried in red tape, to whispers of hush money and silent deals. This isn't just a personal scandal. This might be the one thing the Carter empire can't control.
And I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh. Okay.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
As this new paternity claim reopens old lawsuits and unanswered questions, something darker creeps in. What if there's more? What if Letitia and Ramir aren't the only ones? A former Rockefeller employee says several women over the years were quietly pushed away after making similar claims. None of it reached the headlines. Until now. One insider says cash settlements were offered in return for silence. NDA after NDA. Money passed through middlemen. And the stories? They disappeared overnight. But in today's world, nothing stays buried forever. Not when one post can go viral in seconds. And Letitia, she already has.
None of that. It's like, I just want the truth, and it's so hard to get it from the courts. And seems like Jay-Z don't want to say anything. So, I don't want to see him go down for something that, you could have just got taken care of. That's it.
Sources say Beyoncé's legal team is already preparing for anything, from public divorce strategies to co-parenting plans, even brand separation if things get worse. For now, she's holding steady. But behind the scenes, insiders say she's done playing the role of the loyal wife. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time she's faced betrayal, but it might be the last time she's willing to forgive it. At the center of it all is Jay-Z, hip-hop's godfather, the man who rose from the Marcy Projects to Madison Square Garden, the mogul who built an empire with his name. And yet, he says nothing. No comments, no denials, no DNA tests. This isn't just a private issue anymore. This is a fight for his legacy, his marriage, and the carefully crafted image of Jay-Z. And time is running out.
The both worlds. Nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about this shit.
Nobody talks about that project.
That nigga swept that smooth under the rug.
Why?
So why won't Jay-Z just take the test? That question is echoing louder than ever. Across social media, in legal spaces, and deep inside the hip-hop world. If he has nothing to hide, then what's the delay? Fans aren't buying the privacy excuse anymore. Many believe this isn't about staying private, it's about protecting something bigger and possibly more damaging. With not one, but 2 paternity claims now attached to his name, the refusal to take a DNA test doesn't look like strife. It looks like fear. And that fear? It's starting to cloud the image Jay-Z built for years. The image of a truth teller, a self-made leader, a man who rose to power while lifting others. Now, that legacy is under the spotlight, and people are watching closely.
Statement. Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?"
Behind the scenes, it's not just silence, it's strategy. According to Ramir Satterthwaite's court filings, Jay-Z's legal team has done everything possible to stall the case. Blocking evidence, delaying hearings, and cutting off access to key records. In one case, a judge dismissed it over a technicality, something about jurisdiction. But here's the twist. Jay-Z's lawyers reportedly claimed he had no ties to New Jersey, even though that wasn't true. Later, the judge admitted that one of Jay-Z's attorneys had misspoken, and that so-called mistake, it kept Jay-Z from being forced to take a DNA test. Was that just bad luck, or was it the plan all along? They want us to believe it was just a slip-up. But to many watching, it feels like something else, something carefully crafted to keep the truth hidden.
It's not just about me. If I gotta fight for all of us, I will, but I won't let the court systems just walk over me. I won't let Jay-Z, and I won't let no one just walk over me and tell me something because y'all just saying this. I want the truth. And if we can't go to the Supreme Courts, the regular courts, to find out the truth, what are they here for?
Yeah, all right, we'll get to the legal things that you've been through, the battles. But before that...
Meanwhile, this court battle has dragged on for over 10 years. Ramir's team says sealed files, wrongful penalties, and even violations of his rights have all worked in Jay-Z's favor. Every time Ramir's mother, guardian, or lawyers tried to push forward, something pushed back harder. Motions denied, records sealed, calls ignored. The case has bounced from Pennsylvania to New Jersey and now California. Yet after all these years, still no clear answer. All Ramir wants is the truth. Jay-Z's response? Silence. And one legal statement calling the whole thing a decades-long campaign of harassment. But if this is just harassment, why all the legal power? Why spend so much time, money, and energy if the answer is simple, the kid ain't mine? Jay-Z even seemed to hint at it in his lyrics. In Heard About Us, he rapped, "Billie Jean in his prime for the 1000th time. The kid ain't mine." But clever lyrics don't count in court. And so far, the truth remains locked in silence. Is it really a conspiracy? If the same man keeps benefiting from the same kind of silence again and again? A former Rockefeller employee claims Jay-Z's team follows a playbook: deny, delay, distract, bury it in paperwork, twist the courts, and outlast anyone brave enough to fight back. And maybe it used to work, but not anymore. Social media changed the game. Letitia didn't go to court. She went to Instagram. She shared her truth with the world, and now she's not alone. Beyoncé hasn't said a word publicly, but insiders say her silence is loud. Sources close to the Carter Circle say she's not shouting, she's not running, she's planning. Quietly, carefully, like a chess match, every move calculated. We've seen Beyoncé endure pain before. The Lemonade era told that story. But this isn't just betrayal. It's about secrets, hidden children, NDA deals, quiet property buys, erased lives. And for a woman who built her brand on truth and strength, this is getting harder to hid. Some in the industry believe Beyoncé has already made her decision. Sources say behind closed doors, she's demanded full honesty and a clear end to the chaos. One reported ultimatum, take the DNA test or lose everything. Others believe she's waiting, letting Jay-Z prove himself or destroy what's left of his name. Could this be the quiet start of a public split? A solo move from Beyoncé? Maybe a visual album that says everything without saying a word. If anyone knows how to take control of the story, it's her. And this isn't just a family issue anymore. It's a full-blown image crisis. Jay-Z has spent the last decade calling for justice, speaking out about prison reform and social change. He's branded himself as the voice of accountability. But now, critics are asking, how can a man who won't confirm paternity for 2 children speak about truth and fairness to the world? Is he defending his rights or just protecting his empire? We're hearing whispers that private investigators are now digging deep, looking into secret property deals, money trails, and hidden messages between Jay-Z and the Mesa and Satterthwaite families. If that evidence surfaces, everything could flip, from denial to truth, from protection to betrayal. And once the truth starts leaking, no amount of money or polished PR can stop it. So, where does that leave Beyoncé? She's been playing the long game, gaining power, ownership, and control. And if it comes down to it, she won't flinch. She'll act fast, bold, and global. As pressure mounts, Jay-Z is running out of time. Will he face the truth, or will this scandal tear down everything he's built? One thing's certain, the truth always finds its way out. And when it does, the fallout could be massive. What do you think? Is this the beginning of Jay-Z's fall, or just the start of something deeper?